Let's move on to West Coast, our last team, a club which has really struggled these past few years, dating back to the COVID bubble, and we won't go there. But what are you expecting from the Eagles in 2023, Kingy?
Oh, I think Adam Simpson's got the toughest job in football this year. You know, to get the Eagles back to being competitive, new methods. There's been a tinkering with the way they want to play. They've challenged their players to get fitter. They clearly haven't been at the level the last couple of years, whether that's through injury or a lack of desire, which can happen when you've had a premiership. You know, over the recent couple of years, you can lose a couple on the way. Unfortunately for them, they were impacted by COVID, but that's not an out for them last year.
No.
They were poor last year. So their leadership group have to regain their form and their ability to actually lead. I look at Yo, he looks a different commodity. Nick Nat's out at the moment. McGovern looks really fit. Fittest I've seen him in years. Gaff's back to full health. Kelly's got to step up. Sheed's got to step up. There's a few that need to start to lead the way for those smaller, those lesser roles to be filled by those youngsters, but they're asking them to play match-winning roles. It doesn't work that way at any club. So leaders lead, otherwise you're going nowhere.
So why are you saying this is the toughest job in the comp? Because, as you've mentioned, all those players, they do have talent on their list.
Yeah, they do. They had 2 wins last year, 58 percentage points, 58. I mean, they're ground level numbers. They had 4 picks inside the top 30 over the last few years, last 4 years. So they haven't got a lot of top-end talent coming through. That's why I think it's a seriously tough job.
I think you're saying that because, for me, I'm not sure what to make of them. They're in no man's land, Jono, because they do have enough top-end talent to probably win 7 to 10 games, particularly at home. But then where does that leave them? I don't think they've got enough young talent to sort of be seeing those green shoots and to be handing the keys over to this young group. So they're still going to be relying on their 29-plus players that have, most of them premiership players and all Australians. But they're getting towards the end of their career. So for me, they're in no man's land, and it's going to be a really tough year for them and for the next couple of years in the future.
Bottom 6 draw, they'll win their 7 to 10 or 7 to 9 games, I think, in this season, no question.
You got the
majority of those
advantage.
at home, yeah, of course I do. And I think last year they packed up early, knowing what they wanted to achieve this year with fitness and getting their players back to AFL standard fitness, which they weren't at off a lot of operations the year before. So I think it's been a gradual build for West Coast to the position they were in physically. They identified that, and now with Oscar Allen coming back fit as well, I think adds a good layer to them, and they'll win enough games at home to start to build again as a footy club.
So predictions is probably around that 9 to 15.
Yeah, they'll win 7 to 10 games, which can be anywhere from 11th to 15th.
That's right.
Yep.
Is that enough to save the coach? He's under pressure?
I think with their style, and I've got a big black mark on Elliot Yeo here in terms of bold, he needs to stand up for Adam Simpson.
Yep. Do you reckon it's just died off after winning that premiership? He's had enough time?
He might start to make a few calls.
I think the heat will start to come.
Okay.